Hey everybody, we have a great show for you tonight. Oh my God, my family has taken over my house in Houston, evacuating for Ida. We're going to be all right. Saints football is finally here. This is your best 2021 Saints season preview. Also, does Sean Payton have a linebacker fetish? Thomas, hit the intro.
This is Sean Payton, head coach of the New Orleans Saints. What's with this Saints Happy podcast? This has to be the worst Saints podcast in the world. Ralph can't say anyone's name right. Andrew doesn't know football. Everyone has a hard time listening to Dave. And is Kevin even there tonight? The audio with this podcast, my God, the audio, it's painful.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour podcast. If you're on the live stream, you see Andrew's lovely family. We are live on Twitch as always. If you aren't following us on Twitch, remember to subscribe to Saints Happy Hour wherever you get your podcasts. Also, become an annual patron on Patreon/Saints Happy Hour to get the best Saints podcast every day and get a month for free. Okay, we got to start here. Before we start, actually, we need to apologize. 2 shows ago, people decided to start supporting the show by donating to the live stream, and we failed to notice it because PayPal thinks we're running an international money laundering operation, and they locked me out of the account because Budrich donated $2.83, which is a credit card fraud alert. So PayPal thinks we're running a money laundering scheme. But we got to thank the people. We got it fixed. I want to correct our mistake because we want to thank Romeo. He donated $5, and since it was our first ever donation during the live stream, as promised, Romeo, you get a special VIP badge on Twitch. Of course, Budrich, we love you donating $2.83, but they think we're now an international crime syndicate, PayPal. I had to talk to the guy in India and explain to him that $2.83, it isn't a credit card fraud scheme. It's a joke about the Falcons. But we got it straightened out.
I'm sure he understood that perfectly.
Yeah, and Opie Coulter, he donated $10, and not Heath Schuler, he donated $50 like 30 minutes ago. So thanks again, guys. And listen, donate, support the show. It helps us do amazing things. It helps us make sure Thomas is living large in Poland and doing his great things and is filled to the brim with cured meats. So donate, pound that donate button in the live stream. We appreciate it. It helps us do amazing
Can we
things.
talk about Dave's visual appearance today? Like he's
we can
zoomed
make
out.
Somebody needs to make a funny clip of Dave lounging in generator goodness. I want to tell them, click the icon on the left of the full screen icon. When you hover over the live stream window, then the editor opens and you can adjust the duration of the clip and give it an appropriate name like Dave lounging around looking lazy. Remember, you can do it during the show. So if you have a funny moment, do it. Maybe you could be the clip of the week.
Dave, is that power I see in your house?
Yeah, this is power, but it's generator power.
Damn.
If we're gonna get into this, I'll just start by saying this week has been the longest year of my life. We were in Houston. We were in Ralph's territory. We evacuated. Staying at the luxurious.
Why is that quality so terrible? It does not sound like that on my phone.
Staying at the luxurious Red Roof Inn off of the 290 freeway there in Houston. But thanks to my brother-in-law who lives in Houston, we were spending our days in his nice new big house and playing board games all day. We only had to just sleep at the Red Roof Inn. We didn't actually have to hang out there. Oh,
what board games did you play?
We played, so there's a 2-player game called Patchwork. That was kind of fun. So we played that. We played Code Names. We played
Yahtzee?
No, we didn't play Yahtzee. We played one game of Trouble. My daughter, she's sick. She likes to play Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza.
Yeah,
That's a
I
card
got
game.
that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
hell is
What
that
about Sushi Go? Does she play that one?
Sushi Go. No, I like that one. I
Yeah.
played that one with Erin and my brother-in-law.
man?
What else did we play?
I feel
Oh,
so
my
blessed
wife
that
and
all
I.
Candyland?
we play.
Are
Nah,
your
All we
kids
play
too
is
old for that?
Godzilla Jenga.
No, they're not too old for Candyland. We have Candyland at home. Oh, we played Hues and Cues. That's another game we like. That's a good one. But anyway, so thanks to my brother-in-law is not listening to this podcast and he never will. But anyway, but thanks to him for
Why not?
housing all of us, his entire family. Not that he really had a choice, but it was very nice of him. But we're back. But yeah, I thought we were going to get power back today, but we don't. So I think we'll have it tomorrow. But we've got the whole home generator, fortunately. So we've we've been here. We have power. We've had power the whole time, but we don't have internet or cable or anything like that. So, and my store had a little bit of damage, but power's back already, and I think we're actually going to open back up on Tuesday and get back to work. So
Yeah,
There we go.
my mom will be heading back to New Orleans later this week. Lakeview got power today, so she'll be heading back
yeah.
sometime
Great.
middle
That's
late
awesome.
next week. And look, listen, we give people energy a lot of crap in New Orleans, and look, they deserve a lot of it. But it was looking at this time last week. It was looking like it was catastrophic, and it's been amazing work by everyone. So we're thinking about everybody in Ida. And listen, the Saints season, it's here. Ida made it a little weird, but I have to say this about Saints news. Andrew, the
Ralph,
Saints
before we start, we had another donation from Budrich.
Oh, thank you,
Check
Budrich.
the Discord. Check the Discord.
Budrich, if I have to fight with PayPal because they have accused me of money laundering again because you donated $2.83, I will find you on Twitter and I will beat you with my one good arm. I swear to God.
Also, Andrew's not here right
read
now,
the Discord. Read the Discord.
Andrew's
Ralph.
gone.
So you better not ask Andrew a question.
Andrew, well, here's the thing. I'll ask you.
And by the way, well, no, and I was about to say I may not be the best person because for the last week now, I have not been paying one lick of attention to the Saints. I have no idea what's going on. I never saw anything. I saw nothing about final cuts. The only thing I know is that Lil Jordan made the team. But other than that, I have no clue what's going on with the team.
Well, here's the thing. We need to record. I need to record all my phone calls with Andrew. And by the way, props to Thomas. Y'all wonder what he does behind the scenes. Thomas built some sort of bot that will record me and Andrew's phone calls and give us better audio quality for breaking news. But of course, it's super complicated for me to use, but it's amazing, and I'm going to get to use it. And I need to do it to record all of Andrew's phone calls because Andrew called me Friday, or I think he called me Wednesday, and he's like, Ralph, what is going on with the Saints roster? They have 7 linebackers, 3 fullbacks, and no kickers. What are they doing? And I was like, Andrew, I don't know. I'm joke guy. You're roster guy. You explain it to me. So Andrew, what are they doing? What are they doing with the roster?
You're muted.
Thanks for that.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, the way that Rex Ryan feels about feet is how Sean Payton feels about linebackers right now. Because he's got 7 of them, and you only play 2. I mean, I get the Saints are at base 4-3, but let's be honest. On the field, most times, it's 2 linebackers. So 7 makes no sense. And I get that they all had good camps, and you feel guilty cutting them because they all look good. Guys like Caden Ellis, Andrew Dowell, Chase Hansen, but you can't play them all. So I get that some of these guys will be on special teams, but 7 linebackers. Yeah, 7 linebackers sounds wholly unnecessary.
Okay, well, more importantly, we need a kicker. We need somebody that's going to kick.
I thought Rosas was still on the team. Is he not?
No, they cut him. They got rid of Rosas.
Is he? So, but they're not bringing him back.
Maybe they don't have. Well, the thing is, I think with kicker is there's no way around it. Somebody is getting their entire 2021 season contract guaranteed because they're going to be kicking for the Saints week 1 against Green Bay, and that guarantees you a year's pay. And I think maybe Loomis wants to Loomis math it and work around it. But Andrew,
Yeah, you're right.
even
Will Lutz is the only kicker on the roster right now. I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find out tomorrow who the kicker is because they'll have to put Lutz on IR.
Andrew, what's weirder, the 7 linebackers or the 3 fullbacks?
Or the no kicker.
Well, they have 1 fullback on the roster and then 2 fullbacks on the practice squad. That is also weird. Yeah, I think it's intentionally weird to keep us guessing about are they even going to use a fullback, but yeah, I don't know. It's strange. All of it's strange.
Can any of them play tight end?
I mean, there's a lot of reports that Trevor Siemian is coming back, and that they might keep 4 quarterbacks on the active roster.
What?
That to me is strange.
No, I mean that makes sense. Considering you're going to use Taysom Hill, so much in the offense, and you're definitely running the risk of him getting injured. And then in that case,
but that was the case last year, and they only kept 3.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, I mean, this roster. The point is, I mean, they gave the players a long break, and I think the players are coming back tomorrow.
Yeah,
but
this roster, I'm terrified, by the way, that some of these guys are going to get tested and come back positive from COVID. I saw. Yeah. I watched the LSU game last night, and I saw. What's the kid's name? Well, what's the kid's name that's on the Bengals? I can't believe I'm blanking on his name.
Burrow?
No, Jamar Chase. I see Jamar Chase unmasked on the sideline, and I'm just like, I'm not worried about Jamar Chase specifically, but it's just like I saw him clearly. He was given the weekend off to go travel and do whatever he wanted, and it just made me realize like these guys, this is probably their last free weekend before like it's the season, and I think a lot of them,
remember,
especially if they're vaccinated,
you can't travel if you're not vaxxed. You can't in the NFL.
But the ones that are vaxxed, they're going to go out, they're going to party, they're going to see family and stuff, and like 5% of them are going to come back positive from their trips, and so I'm a little nervous about the Saints getting hit with a couple guys that won't be able to play on Sunday.
Well, that's a good segue, Andrew.
That's a good segue into the Tulane talk, into Tulane versus Oklahoma talk.
Tulane looked awesome.
Tulane, if they don't win 9 games, they should run roughshod through that conference. Like they have a quarterback that can throw now.
Let's talk about Tulane for a second, because man, I gotta say they had to move from New Orleans to Oklahoma, play the number 2 team in the country. And really, I mean, they had a shot. I mean, they really, really did at the end there to steal that game. And, it's always cool to see local teams go to Oklahoma against the number 2 team and play like that. Yeah. But under the circumstances of evacuating, how they were supposed to play that game at home and then they have to go play it in Oklahoma and do the city proud like that. Like, it was incredible. And the only thing that was missing was for them to pull off that upset.
Coach Fritz, he's the best Tulane coach in the history of the program. Like he is. Like Tulane, like they've never had this kind of sustained success ever.
You're going to put him over Bowden?
Yeah, because Bowden did it. Bowden went 7-4, undefeated, then left. Fritz is working on 3. He's gone to 3 straight bowls. Yeah,
3 winning seasons. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to argue with Ralph. I'm not going to talk. I mean, the nice things you're saying about Tulane, they mean more coming from you guys than they do coming from me, just because everybody knows how I feel, and I know a lot of. Well, I mean, I personally know a lot of the people that make that whole operation run, and who are affiliated with that program and who have been, like you said, dealing with this hurricane stuff and being based out of Birmingham and having practices all over the place, and then having to go up to Oklahoma and instead of having that game here. And I truly believe if they could have managed to play that game at Yulman Stadium, I think the Saints pull that game off. I think the Saints beat Oklahoma.
You mean Tulane?
I'm 100% sure the Saints would have beat Oklahoma.
If the Saints don't beat it, If the Saints don't beat Oklahoma, we got problems.
Right.
Yeah.
sorry. Yes, Tulane. I think Tulane. I think Tulane could pull that off. I really did at home.
Hey,
And
Quiz,
I don't know how the Saints are gonna go and how they're gonna do, but I mean, I'm acutely aware of like at a time where this kind of thing is happening, right? You need entertainment, you need something to uplift you, and they deserve a lot of credit. They did the city really proud.
They did. It was amazing, and I mean, like Dave said, to be in that game at the end and be like, "Holy shit, Tulane's going to pull this off!" Like
Yeah.
like it was. You legitimately thought it, and I was like, "Oh my god, they are going to beat Oklahoma in their own stadium. This is going to be the greatest moment in Tulane football history." But it didn't happen. But like I said before, this is a good segue about Tulane dealing with chaos. The Saints. They're playing Green Bay, as everybody probably knows by now, in Jacksonville, Sunday, 3:35. And the interesting thing, and Thomas, get this clip of Sean Payton queued up. Sean Payton, if you listen to him on the phone this week from Dallas, he has really embraced the chaos in a way that is really interesting. Thomas, play that first soundbite of his.
I went down for breakfast today, and man, there's a freaking ruckus going on, and there's about 15 kids playing touch football in the mealroom, and it's kind of I don't know how you describe it, but it does bring a group of people together. You know, you're trying to give them information, make the best of a situation like this, and you're getting a chance to meet family members and children that maybe you never normally would meet, either player to player or coach to player, or you know, I mean, you see a lot of these people at games, but you know, collectively, you don't see as many like you do in this unique environment. And then moving forward, you know, again, a lot of it will be dependent on, you know, when is the city ready to receive, you know, people to come back? When are they legit? You know, when's the power back up? When are all the things up and running again, at least for people to return? And we don't know the answer to that yet.
I mean, Andrew, I'm 100% sure Bill Belichick wouldn't be like, it was kind of cool. I got to meet families, wives, kids. I didn't know their names. They're playing touch football. It's kind of chaos. It's kind of cool. Like, Bill Belichick would not be doing that.
Bill Belichick would say, "Grumble, grumble. I hate kids." Next question.
We're on to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
It makes me almost
you mentioned, Ralph, that he almost embraces the chaos, and I do think that Sean Payton kind of visualizes any challenge and it kind of embraces it wholeheartedly. That's just the environment you're in. I remember he was talking about when he was up at the Greenbrier, I think it was, and he was driving somewhere up the mountain, you know, kind of windy road, and his car breaks down. And he said he got stuck with I guess just like a AAA guy that was helping him with the vehicle. And he said he was stuck on a mountain and he was stuck with the guy for 90 minutes. And he said for the next 90 minutes, it wasn't about football anymore. It wasn't about the meeting he had to go to. It was just about him and that AAA guy figuring out a situation. And, you know, he kind of drew comparisons to that and how in life these things. I just remember that Sean Payton story because I think he's one of those guys that's introspective that way and just embraces whatever life throws at you. And so, I don't know, that's just another window of insight, I think, into him, just acknowledging the environment and embracing it. So I don't know, man, like that makes you feel good in the sense that he's a guy that is able to handle these kind of challenges as they come up.
I'll say this. I mean, one, you know, New Orleans and the Saints, they are used to these types of situations now at this point, whether for better or worse. Like this has happened.
Part of the deal.
Yeah, it's just that's kind of been the norm lately, the last 15, 20 years, whatever. And so they're used to it, and I think they're better suited to handle something like this than probably most other franchises in the NFL. Number two, I think Sean Payton and his staff and his, you know, just his culture and everything about that, I think they are better suited than most coaching staffs in the NFL and most front offices in the NFL to handle a situation like this. And, you know, like we heard Payton say, he's certainly not. He's not Belichick. He's got a heart. He's not the Grinch. He's got a little bit of a
Well,
heart, and I think this kind of stuff can unite a team. And I think we've seen in the past when the Saints are faced with this type of adversity, they usually rise to the occasion and do pretty well.
well, I mean,
So this whole thing honestly makes me that much more confident in the Saints in Week 1 against the Packers. A very
well, the
good
thing is,
Packers team.
remember, in 2005, the further you get away from it, the more insane it look. When I look back at them, like they started 2-2, but that was just a never-ending cluster, you know. And that was never. And they just you could
Yeah.
see it as the year went on. They lost
Right.
energy. This is going to be a defined window of time. They're going to get back, but it's. Dave, you brought up a good point about the Saints being prepared and how they, they're probably the best NFL team to handle this. Sean Payton, this was a soundbite from earlier in the week before they had decided that they were going to practice at TCU. But he made a really interesting point, and I want you to hear it about how they had thought through all the possibilities. And he explained why picking a college environment and practicing on a college team's campus is the best route for the Saints.
The college teams are on a different timeline than the NFL, and typically they're getting a morning practice in because of classes, or they're getting a late afternoon practice in because of classes. So I know when we were, for instance, at Washington a few years ago, they were done practicing long before we ever got there to work out. And so, I think we had one day where we might have seen just the tail end of a practice. So we've explored a number of colleges relative to their facilities and also their practice schedule. And it keeps coming back pretty consistently, that there's teams that are practicing 7, 8 in the morning, and then teams that are practicing 4 in the afternoon. So, logistically, the hotel, an indoor facility that matches schedules, and those are some of the base logistics, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's just interesting to me, Dave, that they had they've thought it all through. Like
I mean,
somebody
I never even thought about that. I just always assumed, like, I follow Tulane, and Tulane, they do all their practices in the morning. They're off the field by 9. I assume most of that is because it's Louisiana. Let's
Right.
avoid the heat as much as possible. But I never thought about the fact that I guess different coaches have different philosophies or different cultures or different systems, and they believe in, some might believe in film room before you go out there on the field. I played hockey, and that was always a big thing with one of my coaches. He always believed in meeting before you go out on the ice. That way you're prepared and you're not wasting your ice time, or I guess, some teams like Tulane or whatever, they say, well, let's go out there and then we'll watch the film. We'll break the film down later. So I thought that was interesting because I never really even considered that. I just assumed everybody was practicing at 7 in the morning and then, doing this and kind of on the same schedule.
Do you think, Andrew, Jacksonville, because the Saints said, look, we picked Jacksonville because Miami was too easy to get to, and we didn't want to play in Tampa, and Jacksonville is really hard for Green Bay fans to get to. You combine that and the heat. It's just the intern doing a 5-minute kayak search, Dave. Let's not make like the Saints had a whole plan for it. But
no direct flights from Wisconsin to Jacksonville. Perfect.
Oh, and by the way, Thomas just put on the screen the GM of Green Bay saying, "Oh, we'd have loved to have that game here." I bet you would have, buddy. You think it's 2005 again, where they're gonna give the Saints a home game in Green Bay and then gaslight the fan base and tell us, "Oh, the Saints wore the home jerseys in the program and everything." No, get out of here with that, Gutekunst or whatever his name is. But is the heat, Andrew? Is it a good thing for the Saints? Maybe Aaron Rodgers will melt to make them wear the green.
Randy Mueller told me he thinks that that's an advantage for the Saints because his whole theory, this is a former Saints GM, and look, everything matters with this stuff, but his thought was the Saints have been playing in the heat in training camp, and yeah, I mean, you know this, Ralph. Like when you're from New Orleans and you live there, and I remember playing tennis in the summer in Louisiana, and you know, you get into the third set and it's 100 degrees and the humidity and it's horrible. But like the more you acclimatize to it, the more you get used to it, and it never gets comfortable, but you learn how to deal with it. And coming from Green Bay, like the heat just hits you different. I know it's the summer up there. I know it's been hot, but like it's you can't compare it. And it's the humidity that really gets you, you know?
Well, it reminds me, Dave, of my favorite all-time Scott Fujita quote when they practiced in Millsaps in 2006. He said
protecting his feet.
No, he said the Mississippi heat where the strong get weak and the weak just die.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good one.
So, I mean, do you guys think, and I'll start with you, Dave, do you worry that the Saints having to cut $100 million of cap space, Michael Thomas being hurt, having a new quarterback, having to practice away from do you think do you worry that the accumulation of everything is just, do you start to worry that it's just too much for this season?
I didn't feel that. Look, I'm going back to the last game we saw, week 2 preseason. Jameis coming out party. The team looked good.
That's right.
Offense looked better than we were thinking. Defense still looks good. So I'm just going back to that. That's the last thing I saw. I'm somewhat optimistic from what I saw then.
Look how beautiful this is.
The whole I can't even.
World.
This is like Tampa last year all over again.
This is gonna
exactly.
Green Bay is going to be a very popular survivor pool pick week 1. I love
the Saints in this position. I love when their backs are against the wall. I love when they're dealing with adversity. I think this whole Ida thing, this whole week being away thing, I think it only makes them stronger.
I guarantee you that what you're posting right here, Ralph, I guarantee you that Sean Payton is printing this out. He's sticking it on every locker, and then he's putting a little post-it note under it and saying, "Should we even show up?"
Totally. Thomas, did you make
Should
this
we
graphic?
even go?
He did. Thomas did.
Thomas, you need to email that to Bensel. Email that to Payton. I think it's usually just first name dot last name.
Hey Tomas, check the timestamp on this.
This is great poster material.
Yeah, give this to them because I think they could use this.
Honestly, whatever concerns I had about this game, Ralph, the fact that it's in Jacksonville instead of New Orleans, the Michael Thomas stuff, the cumulative effect that you talked about, right up until that was just posted just now.
That's right.
Yeah,
I felt really bad, but I have a wave just washed over me, and I suddenly feel much better about this game.
Oh,
amen.
By the way,
amen.
if you're a patron, be on the lookout. We're gonna do a picks pool for patrons only, where we're gonna pick every NFL game against the spread every week, and the winner is gonna get 3 free months of their membership.
Are we doing the Survivor pool again? Also.
We will be doing the Survivor pool again as well. The Survivor pool, man, I hate Survivor pool. I suck at them.
I always forget to make my pick like week 2 or week 3.
I should have. My kind of opponent.
Yeah, I know. No, I know.
So the Saints, obviously, the games are here. So we want to do a season preview. We're going to start with the defense, and I want to start, Dave, with I think this defensive line is going to be really, really good. I know they have some issues. Maybe we think stopping the run at defensive tackle because Onyemata is going to be suspended 6 weeks. But when you look at what they have on defensive line, when you have Cam Jordan, when you have Davenport, who, oh, by the way, looked amazing, when you have Andrews' UDFA son, Granderson, when you have Payton Turner, you have your UDFA son, Malcolm Roach. If Shai Tuttle can get back to looking like he did when he was embarrassing and putting Matt Ryan on a poster, this defensive line can be really good and dominant. That is what gives me the most hope for the defense. What, when you look at this defense, gives you the most hope?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you on the defensive line. Assuming that this isn't two different teams, the preseason team and the regular season team. Assuming that what we saw in the preseason and the hope and the spark that we saw from guys like Davenport, assuming that carries over to the regular season. I mean, I would probably agree with you that that's probably going to be the most exciting thing. I mean, we've been worried all off season. Trey Hendrickson gone. Who's going to replace all that production?
He's looking really meh in
Onya
Cincinnati, by the way.
Onyemata is going to be suspended for the first 6 games, so we're already down in that department. I mean, I think I kind of agree with you because I'm a little nervous about the secondary. But I'm, and linebacking core, I guess I've got to be pretty optimistic about them too.
Andrew, what is your biggest concern about this defense? Is it corner?
No, I think it's defensive tackle. I feel okay about corner in the sense that I don't know how. First of all, Ken Crawley, Paulson Adebo, PJ Williams, they've at least got 3 guys. I don't know that I'm confident in any of them, but their strength in numbers. And I just feel like if one of them's bad, then, well, if one of them's bad, like eventually they'll just say, you know what, like we're going to just trust that Paulson Adebo is going to get better eventually.
Did my UDFA son Throckmorton make the team? Breaking news.
He's on the roster currently. Oh, speaking of UDFA sons, Dave hasn't been around, so we got to bring this back around.
Oh boy!
Just so you know, I won the competition because
that's right. Here we go.
It's already over.
Josiah Bronson is on the practice squad, and the rest of the UDFAs that we all picked are not on the team.
Yeah, and the only one that maybe could have defeated you, my son, he got released by IR. So I don't think he's
it's
like
injured. You can tell me congratulations. You could be a good sport. You can say some nice words.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I was going to say that was quick. That was.
We're now going into dynasty territory because this is the second time I've won.
Damn.
And just want to say, look, I'm looking at 3 times in 4 years if I win next year. So we're talking dynasty here.
Ralph got the Josiah fat head and put it on the wall behind you.
Yeah, got it right there.
I appreciate
right there.
I appreciate you doing that for me, Ralph.
The least I can do, Mr. Dynasty.
We don't even know who the kicker is going to be for week 1, but Ralph's already got him as that fat head. It's a mystery kicker.
Right.
So.
I mean, I'm gonna. I think. Well,
the Nostradamus.
I mean, I think we could, we could temporarily crown you the winner, but the season's long. We don't know what's going to happen. There could be injuries somewhere. One of our guys might get called up from the couch or something, and you never know. You never know.
You never. I mean, it looks pretty good for him.
But yeah, no. For now, you're looking real good.
Right now,
you're looking like the Falcons.
We didn't know.
I love how
the Falcons in the third quarter of the Super Bowl against the Patriots.
I love how this competition is like diminishing returns. Like at first, it was Granderson. Okay, he had to get a sack to win the competition. That was something. And then year 2, it was like Malcolm Roach basically just made the team and had like a tackle, and that was enough for Dave to win. Now you just make the practice squad, and that's enough.
Well, what's up? I mean, did we just make? I mean, how many undrafted free agents made the final roster this year? Actually,
0.
Yeah. See, I mean, that's the thing.
Well, I think Andrew, and this is why you should become a $10. You should become a $10 patron. Andrew did a post, I think, right before training camp started, and he was like, "This crop of UDFAs is terrible."
Yeah.
But
that was
I really think the Saints, they're going to be okay at corner because one of them is going to be Crawley, Adebo, whoever. One of them's going to be not terrible. And
I just feel
think,
like they can protect a bad corner. They've done it in the past.
And
With
Marcus
Williams. Yeah.
Marcus Williams, the safeties are getting ridiculous money. Jamal Adams, another safety signed this week. I forget who it was. He got like 4 years, $68 million. He's playing for a mega contract. I think he's going to have an amazing year. Defense, the hardest thing with defense, though, Andrew, is it's so variable and it's so flux because turnovers, sacks, even if you're a great defense, and the Saints were great. At one point, they were number 1 in DVOA. You could just go from like 1 to 11, and it's not necessarily that you have this great decline. It's just, you didn't get to the quarterback as much. You didn't get as much turnover luck. So defense is very sort of, what's the stock market term for like a stock that goes up and down and
Volatile.
no, it's like a fancy pants Harvard stock term. I can't think of, maybe somebody in the chat will say it. But defense is an issue. But Dave, as far as offense now, we look at offense, and we didn't get this sound for the daily podcast this week, but we got it for this show, and I wanted to pick people to hear it. Sean Payton talked about the plan going forward for the quarterback. And I think I want everybody to listen, because he talked about how in the preseason they were trying to decide who it was and be fair. But now that it's Jameis, they are going to tailor this offense specifically to what he likes and his strengths. And I think it's going to make a huge, huge difference. Thomas, play that soundbite.
I feel like he's got the unique skill set with his arm talent, where he can get the ball down the field. He's done a really good job of working through some of the progressions. And then, a lot of that falls on us now, because one of the challenges, and much has been written about it, is they're two entirely different players. So, going into games with two different kind of mindsets relative to how do you help each one play well. And so, we'll look closely at the things that we feel like Jameis does really well, and then very closely at the things that how we want to utilize Taysom in positions we want to play him. And make no mistake, it wasn't, I know this was asked a lot, and I understand the question relative to, well, if Taysom is your quarterback, you're going to lose all the other things he can do. But yeah, that's true. And yet, we couldn't make the decision just based on that, because if Taysom were to become that quarterback and continue to improve, and I do think he's going to be in that room working at that position, but we just wanted to look at it completely from an open eye standpoint and just trust our gut with it. Those guys handled it well, and I think our teams handled it well. And so, for something as significant as that, because that being the starting quarterback, and we've seen it with some of these other teams, it's kind of taken more of a backseat a little bit with everything else that's gone on. But, they're both real good football players, and we're going to need both of them this year.
Dave, I feel like Sean Payton is going to remind everybody that from like 2006 to like 2014, 15, the Saints were the best deep passing team in the NFL. I feel like Sean Payton is got this whole Jameis Winston deep passes ready to drop on Green Bay's head come Sunday. Am I wrong to believe this?
No, I mean, you're talking about the earlier part of his statement there, where he was talking about how Jameis has his ability is focused on throwing down the field, and so they're going to tailor to his ability, which is basically sounds like what you said, Ralph, that they're going to be throwing some bombs. They're going to go deep. They're not going to be afraid to go long. This team is not going to look like Drew's team anymore, I would say. I don't know. That's fine as long as they can pull it off. People say that Bruce Arians came into Tampa Bay, and Bruce Arians runs a very pass-heavy offense, and a lot of people thought that wasn't great for Jameis, and he threw a bunch of interceptions, and so I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I'm not a football coach, so I don't know what the best is for Jameis, but I don't know necessarily. I don't want to. I guess what I'm saying is I don't know if I want to see Sean Payton fall into a trap where he turns into like Bruce Arians and this whole thing like backfires or blows up in our face. I guess
No chance.
Well, that's
Andrew,
good.
what are we
Good.
gonna see, Mr. Tape Guy?
Good.
Because I
Yeah, what are
paid
we gonna see,
$29.
Well,
What are we gonna see? I paid $29 for Marquez Callaway this morning in my auction.
yeah. I think he's going to catch a lot of passes. I think that's a good pickup, Ralph. But
That is
I think
stupid. Wake up.
I think to Dave's point, obviously Arians is a guy that loves to push the ball down the field relentlessly, and he loves being aggressive, and he doesn't care as much about turnovers. He just wants to keep taking shots, you know. And I think the difference with Sean Payton is that where I think Sean Payton likes to be aggressive and he likes to be measured, at the times where like it's 4th and 1 or you're at the 50. There's a certain situation where he's going to be aggressive too. But I think he's from the Parcells school where like he just cares way more about what costs you games. And I think Sean Payton is really like detailed about the percentages, like the turnover battle. If you lose a turnover battle, you lose games at a 70% clip, or if your third down percentage is really poor, you lose X amount of games. So he's going to focus on specialized practice as it relates to third down. And so I think Sean Payton pays really close attention. And when we've talked about that Bill Parcells quote as it relates to Jameis, where he basically said, I'm either slitting my own throat or I'm slitting his.
Right,
I mean, it was kind of crass, but it was like at interception 15, he's not throwing another pick. I'm dying or he's dying, but he's not throwing another pick after 15 because that becomes you're losing too many football games at that point. I think that's where Sean Payton will be. If it gets out of control with the interceptions, there will come a point where Sean Payton will either say you're going on the bench, or we're running the football every play, or like something's got to change because we're not going to be throwing 30 picks.
Yeah, it's that old quote that you always go back to about Peyton, Andrew, where he said we were not going to let it become that kind of game. And I laughed. The Athletic, they polled all the GMs in the NFC, the executives, and the Saints were ranked 12th in the NFC. And the final quote about the Saints the final quote from an NFC executive was, the Saints, Jameis is going to be exactly like he was in Tampa. He's going to take a bunch of sacks and he's going to throw a bunch of picks, and the Saints offense isn't going to be very good. And I was like, have you ever watched the Saints play a single solitary freaking game in your life? Like, Sean Payton is not going to allow his quarterback to be a sack and turnover machine. That's just not going to happen. It didn't happen with Teddy. It didn't happen with Taysom. Hell, it didn't happen with Luke McCown for one start.
Okay, but you say that now, but what are his options now? Okay, so let's say Jameis turns into a sack machine or a turnover machine. So he benches him. He puts in Taysom. Taysom could just as well then turn into a fumbling machine.
Take
and then
a
what?
look. It's Ian Book. He's throwing rainbows.
Well, who the hell knows?
That's the worst joke I've ever.
This podcast got dark.
Peyton may not have a choice in this matter.
2 words.
No, I think
2 words, Dave. Trevor Simeon.
Yeah, I know exactly.
No.
Thomas, you need a soundbite for when we go in the ditch, because we're in the ditch.
Wait, but going back to his other comments, his later comments about how they were evaluating Taysom as a quarterback and only as a quarterback, and they weren't thinking about how, if he was the starting quarterback, how they couldn't use him in the rest of the offense. That is baloney. Are you telling me that was not, they weren't thinking about that wasn't in the back of their head? Let me tell you something. If they weren't thinking about that, that means that they are the most unaware, inept staff, front office, whatever in the NFL, and I know they are not.
yeah.
And you know they are
Well,
not. So don't.
they
Peyton.
I think it's
Look,
optics with Taysom Hill.
you're
It's
insulting our
optics with
intelligence.
but it's optics with
Solve your problems with aggression.
right?
Dave,
like,
you were the
he made that promise that he was going to give him his best shot.
Dave, you are the segue king tonight because you are just leading me from one soundbite to the next by the hand. You're doing a great job because my
You're
next
welcome.
soundbite
Make a donation, folks.
Hold on. What
Make it-
happened there, Dave? Did you move your head too hard and just yank your phone? What was
Yeah,
that?
my cord is short here. Look, okay, I don't have the internet here. The Cox is out, so I'm on my phone. I'm on my cell phone. I'm using Verizon.
Your cock is out?
here.
What?
Yeah, my Cox is out. It's hanging. My Cox has been out for like 6 days, 7 days. It's just been totally out there. Anyway,
Clip that soundbite, Thomas.
Yeah. Anyway.
Hey, Tomas, check the timestamp on this.
No, Dave, I think you're 100% right, and that was my next soundbite. Is it was really interesting to hear Sean Payton talk about the difficult conversation that he had to have with Taysom when he told him, "Hey, bro, it's not you, it's Jameis." Thomas, play that soundbite.
Look, we talked for a while, and it's always challenging, disappointing, and yet I feel like I got a real good dialogue with him. He's been here long enough with us now, and I think the very first thing any player wants to know is, what's your vision for me? What do you see? And I also think they want honesty in your evaluation. They want honesty in the vision, and so I've got a very clear vision relative to how he's going to help us this year, and no different than the vision we have with Jameis. They're just both going to be; those two are both going to be extremely important if we're to play well and win games this year.
I mean, basically, he's just like, dude, you got to play H back. Is that?
I mean,
how that
yeah, and
conversation ended, right?
Last week, people after the game last week or what, I don't know, was it 2 weeks ago? I have no idea. I don't even know what freaking day it is. But whenever it was,
Wednesday.
when Jameis, whatever, Wednesday. It was the middle of the week. That's weird. Okay.
I think it is Wednesday in Poland.
Wait, today's Wednesday? Oh.
Of course.
Wait, was the game on Wednesday? I don't know.
Yes.
But anyway, there were a lot of people out there who were like, oh, I feel bad for Taysom, blah, blah, blah. That's ridiculous. Okay, you want to feel bad for somebody? Feel bad for a second string quarterback on another NFL team who lost the battle to be starting quarterback for his team and is now going to sit on the bench for the next 4 months and do nothing and do absolutely nothing. Okay, Taysom is still going to be a huge part of this team and this offense. It's not like this is like, don't feel bad for him.
And he might be, the Saints might be doing him a favor in the sense that he'll be doing what he does best, and that's not playing quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
He will end up looking better.
I mean, like, I don't feel bad for him at all. Like, he had a shot to do. It's kind of like he's, the Michael Jordan of football, and then he wanted to go and try and play baseball. And it's like, okay, yeah, you were all right, but you're not that great. Just come back and keep doing what you're really good at. You had your chance.
What he's really good at, he's really good at delighting Saints fans and infuriating the stat nerds. That's his destiny as a football player.
But I don't feel bad for him at all, because unlike every other second string quarterback who's trying to prove themselves and make a team and be a starting quarterback in this league, he's covered. He's got insurance. He's got a backup plan. This isn't the end of his career by any means.
I feel a little bad for him because this was his one and only shot to be a quarterback. Though I feel a little bit bad. I don't feel that bad. He makes $12 million a year, so I don't feel that bad. But just,
right? No.
But let's look at this offense, Andrew. What is the thing? Because with Drew Brees, we're always like, the Saints, they're going to formation teams to death. They're going to play with tempo. And they're going to throw the ball all over the place. They're going to complete a ridiculously high percentage of throws, and they're going to be incredibly efficient. So we had all these things that we knew they were going to do well the last 15 years. And now we're like, I don't know, what are they going to do well? So when you look at the 2021 Saints, what's the one thing on offense that you're like, I'm pretty confident they're going to do that really well?
There's not a whole lot that I'm not confident in. Even the receiving group, I think it's pretty huge what we saw from Callaway, especially while Michael Thomas is out. Obviously, Michael Thomas is going to come back, but Deontay Harris is a guy that's going to be able to make plays, and I like Ty Montgomery. He's a guy that can do things here and there, and Lil Jordan, I think, can make some plays. So I think they're okay. Receiver, it's not great. Obviously, you want Michael Thomas in the mix, but until he comes back, I think the development that we've seen with Callaway is big. So I think, look, I mean, the offensive line to me is the linchpin of this team. I have a tremendous amount of faith in Kamara, but I think this has the potential to be the best offensive line in the NFL. And a lot of it, I think Ruiz is developing at a rate that's really promising. They have bookend tackles that I think are the best in the league when they're healthy. And obviously, Andrews Pete is maybe the one area where you're like, yeah, he's a little up and down. But look, he's protected by Armstead and McCoy on each side of him. So, and he's had moments where he's been really good. So I think this offensive line, really, if they can stay healthy and play at the level where they're the best in the league, they will carry this offense. There's not a whole lot not to like. And again, like just going back to what you guys were saying, I think Jameis Winston is going to add an element to this offense with his ability to go downfield that we really haven't seen in like 5 years with this offense. So I think in some ways it's exciting, but they got to figure out tight end, because I was worried about tight end with Adam Troutman. And if he and Nick Vannett are out for any period of time, then we're looking at like Taysom playing a lot and Juwan Johnson.
Right.
And that's shaky to me.
I got Juwan Johnson in one of my fantasy teams as a deep, deep sleeper. Dave, this is going to sound like a strange question, but the entire summer on offense, we've been focused on who's going to be the quarterback. Oh my God, Michael Thomas didn't get his surgery in time. He's going to miss a chunk of time. And then Callaway emerged, and we're like, oh, Callaway's awesome. Have we slept on Alvin Kamara and what he is capable of doing with Winston and this incredible offensive line and maybe a different kind of offense without Drew Brees? Are we sleeping on him a little bit? As strange as that sounds.
Well, I mean, I guess we're sleeping on it in so much as the fact that like none of us have really talked about it. But I don't.
He hasn't been playing in the preseason games.
Yeah. I don't think any of us are sleeping on it with regard to like what we believe can happen. I think we all know what Alvin Kamara can do, how good he can be, how he can take over a game or change a game, affect a game. We haven't been talking about it, but I think we've all known that that's there. And I would say, if anything, if you want to accuse us or Who Dat Nation, Saints fans of anything, I guess you could accuse us of taking it for granted, I would say, is what we're doing. We're taking it for granted.
Yeah, that's fair. The next thing I want to talk about is we talk about the offense, we talk about the defense and that sort of thing. But I wanted to bring up the point of, I wanted to talk about players most likely to regress. And I had Thomas make up fancy pants graphics for it. So we're going to go, each one of us gets a turn. So Andrew, I want you to start us off. What player are you most worried about in 2021 that will regress and not be as good as they were in 2020?
I think the biggest surprise to me last year was how well Malcolm Jenkins played. And, you know, coming into this year, I just think when you look at his age, when you look at can he continue to maintain that press ability strength-wise against bigger tight ends? Can he continue to run in the secondary and break up passes, jump on routes? And can he continue that? Because he's been an Iron Man. Physically, you know, he's a guy. Yeah, he's a freak that's just able to continue playing in the box, taking big hits, and That's probably the guy I'm most worried about because the Saints are really counting on him, and he has a big role. And I just think Father Time's undefeated, and he's definitely a little long in the tooth.
Dave, who did you pick to regress?
I'm staying in the secondary, but I'm going with Marshawn Lattimore. I'm just
Contract year. That's not good for him.
Shoot your dick off.
No, I know. Yeah, well,
Nice.
I personally think he's not going to get suspended, but that is out there still as a possibility. So he could miss time, and I don't know. It's just kind of a gut feeling. I don't, this kind of going with my gut on this one. I'm a little worried.
Well, with the offseason, it's fair to say that he's not off to a great start.
Yeah, I mean, he certainly hasn't, turned heads or, been the talk of training camp. So.
Yeah, my decline makes me sad. The person I picked because he's a Saints Hall of Famer. He's awesome. He does a great job, and that's Cam Jordan. I think this is maybe his last year as a Saint. Like,
okay, but here's my thing.
Easy there, buddy.
Here's my thing about this pick, Cam. You said to decline from 2020. He really didn't play that great in 2020, so he's going to be even worse than that because that's going to be really bad.
I'm worried about. He's been an Iron Man, and I just feel like Iron Men, like Jenkins and Cam Jordan, they just when it hits and it's over, it's over. There's no like gradual, nice landing decline. It's like he was good. 2 years later, boom, out the league. And I don't think it's going to matter because I think the Saints are really deep on defensive line. I think other things will work out. But Cam Jordan's my guy. I hope. And look, I will eat it if I'm wrong. Because I was wrong about Vaughn. I was wrong about he's my decline pick.
See, Armstead's a guy I'd be more worried about, like another injury to him, and just how that would set him back. But
yeah.
I really think Cam Jordan's going to bounce back this year. I think he's going to have a good season.
Well, we did regress from 2020 because that's no fun. Now we get to talk about the fun stuff, Andrew. Your player most likely to break out. We got to do Kevin. We got to do Kevin's regression, even though he's not here.
Right.
Yeah. Andrew, Thomas, put on Kevin's regression.
We don't have for Kevin.
We don't have one? I forgot.
No.
So let's get to the fun part. Because Kevin's on a flight somewhere. He went to wrestling. He was wrestling a tag team something. He's flying back to St.
He was at a wedding with his girlfriend.
His wedding.
Can we talk? He kind of like had it was a little bit of a coming out.
Yeah, did you grab the picture, Thomas? Can you share the picture of him and his girlfriend at the wedding?
Yeah. Now is the time.
Well, did I? What do you think?
What do you think, Thomas? On it.
This is the doctor.
Spoilers.
No.
Wait. This is the one.
There it is.
There it is.
That's the doctor.
Kevin
is a boob. He's a boob guy.
Kevin has done so well for himself. If you are a mediocre amateur wrestler and you think you can't find love and you think you can't date above yourself, look at what Kevin Held has accomplished for himself. Look at it. I'm just saying. I say that as an ugly person with a hot wife. Okay? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Kevin has accomplished the unthinkable. And we should salute him. So
good for him. He looks sharp in that outfit.
He looks happy. He's glowing.
He looks happy. Dream the impossible dream, kids. That's what I'm telling you. Okay. So, all right. Now we got to get to the breakout star of 2021.
Well, Thomas already
did it, Andrew. But
it was worth it because I like seeing Kevin happy and smiling. But yeah, Marquez Callaway, how could this not be the pick based on what we've seen in preseason? And with Michael Thomas out, they're going to need a playmaker. They're going to need someone to step up. And I guess I'll say this with Michael Thomas. We talked about how when Drew Brees was out, and when Bridgewater played, and when Taysom Hill played, Michael Thomas continued to amass stats and continue to perform at a high level.
Okay.
That's when you know you have a good receiver, right? When multiple quarterbacks are coming in. And I just want to point out in these preseason games
That's right.
that Callaway performed on that opening drive. He had 3 catches for 70-something yards with Taysom. And then the next game, it's Jameis starting, and he's going at Callaway even heavier, and he scores 2 touchdowns. So I think that's a sign of a good receiver when both quarterbacks show chemistry with the guy.
When you say breakout, Andrew, are you talking like 850, 900 yards and 4 touchdowns? Ooh, he's a nice number 2. Are you talking like he's the man? Let's trade Michael Thomas in June breakout. Because I paid for the latter. I paid $29. I need 1,110.
Maybe somewhere in between.
Dave,
1,100 yards.
Yeah.
I think my breakout player was Malcolm Roach.
You think?
Is that right? Was that right?
No.
No?
It was Davenport. He can't even remember who his own breakout player was.
That's right. I don't know.
Thomas, we need to start making him attend the meetings.
Yeah.
We need to start attending the production meetings.
Yeah, it's
mandatory
M2F.
meetings this time.
M2F,
not voluntary.
Yeah, well, this was Andrew got to pick first on the offense, so he picked Marquez Callaway. So I thought that was a no-brainer. So I went on the defensive side and took Marcus Davenport. I thought that was a no-brainer, just based on everything coming out of training camp. Nick Underhill said he probably had the best camp of anybody. So Davenport has, I think, potentially the most upside, and this is it. He's in a contract year. It's do or die for him. I would say this is it. Come on, let's go, Mal. Marcus, you first. Come on.
Well, my breakout player is obvious. When this happens, I'm gonna eat.
Didn't I?
Yeah, you did for predictions. We're teasing the stuff. But my breakout player is Zach Bond, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to spend an entire season. People are going to dig up all my Zach Bond off-season tweets from this off-season, and they're just going to tweet them at me and remind me of how I slandered him. As he does amazing, and they think I'm going to give a shit that I made a bunch of Zach Bond busting jokes and that I care about them, that I give a shit. He's going to be amazing, and I'm going to eat just like 8 pounds of crow.
Okay,
and I won't.
Well, no. Honestly, what you need to do is you need to go back to your old tweets and do it yourself. Just make fun of yourself. Get out in front of it. Don't even let him do it.
I remember the specific term busty Bond getting thrown out there a lot by Ralph.
Right.
And I just want to point out, Ralph, like, you don't get to go back now. So, like, now you've called him busty Bond. You've leaned heavy into that. Now you're calling him the breakout player.
Breakout Bond.
When he sucks this year, you don't get to go back and go, I told you he was busty. You're done.
Hey, Tomas,
you
check the
burned that
timestamp on this.
You don't get to keep flip-flopping now.
Yes, I do.
You're committed to this.
Yes, I do. And
you're like
everything we do in the show, as soon as we record the show for the next week, everything the previous week just gets washed away like an etch-a-sketch.
I told you guys he was the busty breakout player of the year.
You did. I just want people to make fun of me all year. It'll be fine. He's my breakout. He's gonna be.
So is he gonna be awesome or terrible, Ralph? Which one is it? Make
up. That's right.
He's gonna be awesome.
All right. Check the timestamp. I don't think.
Hey,
you know
Tomas,
what? In all the time,
check the timestamp on this.
You know what, Tomas? In all the times we've done this, have you ever actually checked the fucking timestamp?
Maybe.
Oh. So now we got to get to season.
Hold on. No, seriously. check the fucking timestamps because let me tell you something. The last show at the end of this year, before the new year, or maybe the first show in the new year, I am expecting some sort of compilation audio.
Hey, now we have the clips. Now we have the clips.
Masterpiece. Yes, I am
Yeah.
expecting you.
Get the clips.
I am expecting some sort of audio.
We're gonna need a highlight reel of all the mistakes Ralph has
Yes.
made all season, where he said
here
this
we
guy
go.
was gonna be awesome.
Holy shit!
Yes.
This guy was
This is
awful.
gonna be like 8 hours long, man. Come on, give me a break.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Thomas
That's
doesn't have
fine.
that
Our
many hours
patrons-
in the day.
Our patrons demand it.
That's
It's gonna
We'll
be. It's gonna be
we'll
Christmas.
send you a few pieces of extra Polish sausage if we need to.
It's
right.
our patrons. It's gonna be New Year's. They're gonna be drinking alone by themselves. It's gonna be fine. That's exactly what they're gonna need on New Year's Eve.
I
The best
apologize. I apologize, Thomas. I couldn't remember. For the record prediction, is the graphic just the record prediction or the bold prediction? Which one? How did you set it up? I
Both.
apologize. I
Both.
can't remember. Both.
Both.
Okay. So we're good. So
both with an F.
Andrew.
Yeah.
I want we're going to get to the game predictions, which me and Thomas forgot to put in the rundown. We'll get to the game predictions, as always, later in the show. But give me your season prediction for the Saints and a bold prediction marker that you're going to lay down right now tonight.
All right. Well,
now I'm
for the season, I'm going 8-9. Not a ton of confidence as we enter the season, and the hurricane thing with Ida is just what really. What is going on here?
Where are you?
Ugh. Yeah, where am I?
You're all the way to the left.
Oh,
Kevin looks so young when he's unshaven. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
so I'm going. I'm going 8-9. My bold prediction is that Juwan Johnson will lead the team in receiving touchdowns this year.
That's
more than Callaway, more than Michael
scares me a
Thomas, more than
Double
Taysom.
digits for Juwan?
Yeah, maybe like
Double
8.
digits? Maybe like 8. 8 and 9 though. Ugh. Dave, what say you for season predictions?
All right, I think I said 9 and 8. I think I flip-flopped what Andrew said. Right? Is that put it up on the screen? It's a good thing we have Thomas and the graphics here, so I can see what I said. There we go.
Yes,
And
you've had 9 and 8.
And I went. And I went. Look, I'm a family man. I got to support my family in any way I can.
Big family.
So that's right. So I went with my family on my predictions. And so I said 4 touchdowns for Lil Jordan, 4 sacks for Malcolm Roach this season. I'm going with the parlay.
These predictions are horrible. You people need to get in optimism injected into your veins. You need to believe in Sean Payton. You need to believe in Jameis Winston. You need to believe Jameis, one of one, is a prophet. He can see into the future.
Fuck that.
Why are you not being optimistic? Let's go. Thomas, solve your problems with aggression. That's exactly what Sean Payton is going to do.
Solve your problems with aggression.
10-7. Jameis is going to be in the MVP conversation into November.
Nice.
My bold prediction, CD Deuce, 7 interceptions, but he's going to have 5 taunting penalties. So the ledger is going to be about even. That's my bold prediction. 10-7, Saints are going to get a wild card. They're going to win a playoff game, and we are going to fight all offseason about whether the Saints should keep Jameis Winston and pay him $30 million a year. That's going to be the entirety of this show every week from February until March, the middle of March.
I love it.
Jameis will be the comeback player of the year conversation. He won't be in the MVP conversation.
So give us Kevin's.
I like that.
Give us Kevin's record, Thomas.
Okay, so Kevin predicted 7-10.
Oh my god, man! But he went family like Dave, UDFA's son, to score at least 3 touchdowns.
You got to stick with your family.
You got.
I should have gone Granderson double-digit sacks.
You should have.
In fact, my saying has always been, when you're here, your family.
Your family.
That's right.
So,
Unlimited
Yeah,
breadsticks.
we'll get to the Green Bay game in just a bit, but first we got to go. I'm really proud of this trivia question this week. This one I had to do like actual research and go through every Saints season to try to find the answer to this, and I'm not gonna lie, it shocked me. Thomas, put up the trivia question. This is gonna blow people. I think this is gonna blow people's minds. I was like, wow, this is crazy. The Saints season opener, kind of on the road. It's a home game, but it's Jacksonville. So, Dave and Andrew, what year was the first time the Saints won a season opener on the road?
I'm gonna say 2005 Carolina after Katrina.
Hit the buzzer, Thomas. That's wrong. Andrew, do you have a guess?
Well, I know that Danny Werfel, they won on the road the first game of the season, right? In what year was that? 1990.
Oh, the first time. Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was the last time they won. I thought we were looking at the last time
that was 97, right?
Shit.
With Werfel? No.
Yeah.
98. 99. It was 99 with Werfel.
Close, Andrew. You were in the vicinity. Ninth date, Thomas. Show him the answer. Dum dum dum. We needed like a drum.
I thought it was the last time. When was the last time they won?
It was Ditka. I was right.
1998, St. Louis. Billy Joe Hobart won, but he blew out his Achilles.
That was the game he blew out his Achilles. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they won on the road the following year as well to open.
That's right. Can you believe it took the Saints 30 freaking years to win a road opener? I mean, that blew my mind.
That's crazy.
That's a good trivia question by me.
Didn't I say 98 at one point?
You said 97, 98, 99. So you were like you were like Battleship. You were just like picking numbers, but you were in the right area.
C2.
So Thomas, play the music. It's time to get to questions if we have any. I did a poor job of asking questions. Finger guns. All right, Thomas, what you got?
Okay, so first question comes from LD, and it is: most of the cuts will be obvious, but outside of Murray, what is the one cut that will make us question the decision? I guess this is a question from Ellie of the week. Ellie.
Yeah, I would maybe just obviously the cuts have now happened. Alex Armo would be the biggest surprise, I think, of the ones that happened. I expected J.R. Sweezy to make this team, the veteran guard, and so for Calvin Throckmorton to make it over him was maybe a slight surprise. But I do think
I love you, baby.
We are gonna have some cuts and roster changes that happen this week. So, obviously it's a fluid situation.
They got a lot of stuff to do.
I still think there's a corner they could trade for, so we'll just have to keep an eye on it.
All right, Thomas.
What next?
Next question comes from JMU. Who that? And it is: do you think Sean Payton signed Freeman just so he could relish the moment of calling him into the office to cut him? And do you think he gave him the choke sign as he did it?
I mean, Sean Payton is a petty son of a bitch. He played Circle of Life for Greg Williams, who helped him win a Super Bowl when they played the Rams.
Hey, Devontae, you had this chance at making the roster, but what happened? You think he just stared at him and did that in his office?
Yeah,
that would have been.
I mean,
next level.
Dave, you agree? Like, there's a non-zero chance that he gave him the choke symbol, right?
Unmute yourself, Dave.
Unmute yourself while you're eating gummy worms or whatever the fuck.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you didn't hear me eating these Sour Patch Kids. Yeah, no, there's I would say 5% chance. Yeah.
Dave's training montage should be clip of the week.
2.83% chance.
Devontae Freeman is now back to being a Falcon. I feel like he had a shot there if he maybe scored a couple touchdowns this year to maybe flip to being a Saint, but he's a Falcon.
I just want to say, people in the chat agree with me, including Andrew's dad, 11-6. That's what I'm talking about, Mr. Juge. Just inject the optimism into your arm like heroin.
What next?
That's it.
Okay, next question is from last week, but we didn't have that many questions, so I decided to include it. No, it comes from the big judge himself. Who will catch more passes this year, Lil Jordan or Jamar Chase?
Jamar Chase has had a rough camp. He's been looking rough.
And he just watched LSU play, so I don't know how motivated he is to play well after watching that team.
My children's league fantasy team for the Saints Happy Hour is I built an entire LSU team. The only thing I couldn't get Joe Burrow. I have an entire LSU. Like I have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Odell Beckham, Landry, all of it. It was just it's beautiful. But
Queen.
I got the Chiefs defense. I got Honey Badger. Dave, how many passes do you think Lil Jordan's going to get this year?
I don't know. What did he have last year?
Like 10.
That's it?
No. He did not catch 10 passes last year.
He had like 20 something, huh?
No.
Less than 10?
Yes.
You don't know your own kid? Dave, come on, man.
I'm pulling his box score up right now. I'm guessing he had 7 catches.
No way.
Okay, you ready? Sorry, I exaggerated way too much.
2 catches.
He had
2 catches.
He had five targets,
Seriously?
3 catches.
I was close.
Oh no, that's terrible. Really? How many touchdowns? 1.
3 catches, 46 yards, 1 touchdown.
Yeah, it's all about efficiency.
Hey,
that's what
33% of his catches are touchdowns.
That's right. 30% of the time, it works every time.
Every time. So Thomas, is that it for? Is that it for questions?
We have one final question.
Wait, hold on. I'm saying 40 catches for Lil Jordan.
Holy shit! You're delusional.
I'm gonna say 13.
Oh, come on!
Joke I've ever heard. I'm gonna say 28.
That was me, Thomas. That time.
That was you. Now you know.
All right, we got one more. We got one more question, Thomas.
At the last second before the show, Badrich.
I got it in.
What's better, Sean Payton smirk or the Hank Stram strut?
Ooh, the Sean Payton smirk is fantastic.
Answer is C, the Sean Payton strut. I feel like Peyton's got his own strut too, and I actually like that better than his smirk.
Right.
Yeah. Thomas, this was a horrific job by me not putting this in the rundown. We gotta predict the game score for Green Bay. I didn't put it in the rundown. That's a terrible job by me.
Good thing I don't go to the meetings.
Good thing. So
you know,
people that listen to the show, they know what it is. Thomas, we'll get a graphic for it next week. But everybody, we predict the score of the game, and then each one of us has to do
He looks like a star of the day for the Saints.
Or whatever. So Dave, Green Bay is favored by 3.5 in Jacksonville.
Interesting. Neutral field. They're favored by 3.5. Well, we saw what everybody else predicted. All the quote unquote experts. So I'm obviously I'm going to take the Saints. It's going to be close. It's not going to be easy. This isn't going to be. They're not just going to roll over the Packers. But I just think. I don't know. I just have a good feeling about this, given this week, and like we said earlier, I always feel like the Saints provide when New Orleans and the people of the Gulf Coast need it most. I feel like they provide. So I'm gonna say Saints. I'm gonna say Saints 28, Packers 24.
Ooh.
And
Star of the day.
yeah, I'm thinking. I'm gonna go. You know what? This is easy. Easy answer. We mentioned it earlier. We haven't been giving him credit. Alvin Kamara. Remember
He
him?
looks like a star of the day for the Saints.
Goddamn right he does.
So Andrew,
I
score and
I go back to 2005 after Katrina, and Saints were in Carolina for their first game, and they were playing a team that I think was better than them that day, but they fought just their hearts out, and they did it for the Gulf Coast region. And I think their hearts were heavy, but they just left it all out there on the field, and they wanted to give a win to the community so bad, just to kind of help people get their minds off things. And I remember that experience and how exhilarating it was. And I think the Saints are going to do that again. I mean, I
that
think
was an 11-5 Panther team, by the way.
I think the Saints could easily, it could be an up and down season this year, but I just think they're going to give Green Bay everything they have, and I think they're going to want to do it for the community. And look, regardless of how the game goes, I think the perspective here has got to be that this is a celebration, that this game is happening, that it's a shame that we can't have it in New Orleans in the Superdome with the fans, especially because this was going to be our first game back from COVID with a full stadium. So really sad about that. But look, I think they're going to want to step up, the players, and give us something to cheer for. And it's a celebration just to have them on the field. But I have confidence that they're going to do it. And my player of the game, I'm going to go throw it back to John Carney in 2005, making that game-winning field goal. I don't know the star of the day's name yet, because
unnamed kicker.
He's not on the team yet, but whoever gets picked up this week, I think it might be Rosas. I think Aldrich Rosas might be back, but
I like that pick.
Whoever the kicker ends up being, that's the star of the day. 31-28 Saints.
I like that pick.
Kick at the buzzer. Field goal for the win.
I'm going Saints 35, Green Bay 31. But for 3 quarters.
Did we just reverse jinx the Saints by all picking them?
We probably did.
Yeah.
But
Thomas, pick the Packers, please.
The Saints are going to, for 3 quarters, Jameis is going to look like the best quarterback in the NFL, and we are going to be laughing and dunking on Green Bay, and it's going to be a party. And then Aaron Rodgers is going to get hot, and it is going to be white knuckle terror in the 4th quarter.
That sounds about right.
But CeeDee Deuce is going to save the Saints. He's going to intercept Aaron Rodgers and save them. But it's going to be a horrible, horrible ride in the 4th quarter to get there. 35-31 Saints. And all our fears about the secondary and the corner will all come to life in the 4th quarter. But the Saints will hold on, and CeeDee Deuce will be your...
He looks like a star of the day for the Saints.
And the Saints will be 1-0. So that's predictions, Thomas. Poor job by me. Didn't even have it in the rundown. We gotta get a game score graphic. But Thomas, we got to do clip of the week. Do we have a clip of the week this week?
Of course
I hope we do. Of course we do. So Thomas, play the clip of the week.
You already know what it is.
By the way,
this team would have won more games if they had put the ball in the same
Erxleben at quarterback. Erxleben has better.
It was against the Falcons.
Erxleben has better pocket presence than Taysom.
There it is.
Oh my God!
Look at those terrible Falcons jerseys.
I mean, look at this. He spins off the dude.
He's 100% down at the one. with instant replay, this would have never stood. By the way,
I don't know.
He is 100% down at the one. Look how excited the Saints are.
That's
from
the clip of the
Joshua.
week. Yeah.
Clip of the week. We need
Clip
like
of the
a
week.
drum roll.
Russell Erxleben throwing a touchdown pass has to be
Touchdown.
the clip of the
Just-
week. Come on.
That's tremendous.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
Clip
So
of the
we had
decade.
the final thing on the rundown was the Kevin Love update, but we already did the
Oh,
Kevin
yeah.
Love update.
Yeah.
We did it
Yeah,
earlier
we
in
did.
the show.
Yeah.
So
I got really crossed up there for a second. I thought you were talking about the basketball player. Like, why are we
yeah, I
talking
did
about
doing the rundown.
Why are we
I
talking
was
about
like,
Kevin Love?
Thomas, why are we talking about Kevin Love? Did the Pelicans make a trade? What the hell is going on?
But Love isn't uppercase, you know.
Oh,
That's
Love
right.
isn't up.
That's
That's
right.
right.
That's exactly right.
Should read the rundown.
When is she going to find out about this podcast?
She
Or
doesn't.
when is she?
Never.
No, when is she going to
Never.
listen? No, I think
Kevin will go state to state and murder each of us to make sure she never finds out about this podcast.
Okay, tweeting her now. Tweeting her now.
He'll
But
go to
guys-
Poland first.
Oh, and I want to say this: people are getting on Twitter. Thanks for tweeting at us and putting your pictures in the Discord. People are getting their mugs from around the country. I want to give a big thanks to. She did a great job packing them up, making sure they didn't break. Hopefully, so. Louisiana people, you're going to get them later. I know with everything going on in Ida, like the post office, they put a stoppage on mail. We got them all for you. We're going to let it settle down. You'll get them we'll send them out probably next week sometime. You'll get them all. Everybody else will have the mugs for week 1. We appreciate you. You should become a patron. You get 2 months off free. You get 2 months for free if you sign up before kickoff for the Saints on Sunday. So you should do it so you can get this Best Saints podcast every freaking day. I want to thank Dave for being a trooper, doing it from his house on his phone via generator power. I want to thank Andrew for doing a great job as always. Kevin in love somewhere over the friendly skies of St. Louis. Thomas, executive producer extraordinaire. You guys that did the live stream, you saw it, all the graphics. Thomas does freaking amazing work. We're blessed to have him. That dude, he freaking kills it. So remember, kids, don't shoot your dick off. And until next week, the bar is closed. Saints football is here. Thank the good Lord in heaven.